make. Errors of a wise man make you rule, not the perfections of a fool. Who am I? An exceptionally talented girl having an extraordinary success story and standing here to inspire you with that? Or a girl with hundreds of dreams making 101 mistakes each time and is here to share with you the experiences and the lessons she has learned? Well, yes, option number 2. I don't have any such big success story of reaching to the pinnacle of success which I would share and you get inspired. But yes, I do have my stories of mistakes which I'm very sure that you could relate to it and will surely learn something. So let's name it to be Mystery Box of Dash. Now this dash I'd be filling at the end of my talk. I'll be starting with basics, then the main part and then the conclusion. Basics. Why mystery box? Now we all have often heard of the phrase, life is full of surprises. Well, it is. You never know what's coming up next. Now if I metaphorically replace life with mystery box, I'm not wrong. Until and unless you open up the mystery box, you don't know whether there are stones or treasures inside. You don't know whether it could be the building blocks to your success or it could be the blockage to your success. Now when I mean until and unless you open it, what does it mean? It means until and unless you explore yourself, until and unless you discover out, you never know what life is waiting for you. Now mistakes. 2 categories of mistakes, known mistakes and unknown mistakes. Now to those people who commit mistakes knowingly, I'm sorry, but this talk is not for you. This talk is for those who commit mistakes unknowingly and are unaware of the consequences. As such person is I. Again, those unaware mistakes yield you 2 different things in your life. Maybe it could yield you something very exceptional, something very rewarding in your lives, or could yield you something that would worsen your life even before that. Heading on to the main part, first I'll be sharing some stories with you. Some are mine, some are of people around me which I feel is the need to share in this platform. Taking a little bit of credit of being a bit of successful in life, I will share my story first. So once upon a time, there was a girl who was sitting in a bench. Sounds boring, right? Let's make it simple. I was in standard 9th and it was my chemistry class going on. Our headmistress and an English teacher arrives saying that there would be an inter-school event. Having never attended this type of event before, very excited, with full of pride and honor, okay, this event is in school, I would definitely win. Then, heart shatters, knowing that event is outside the school. Okay, first lesson learned, never be too excited in your life in any of the situations. Learn to adapt with whatever you are getting. Then we were told that we'll be given a selection round to select students who will be participating in that event. And I was like, why selection round? What's the need? I'm so good at speaking. If you give me a topic I can speak, then what's the need to select people? Lesson number 2 learned, if you are good at something doesn't mean that you are the best. You may be the best for yourself, but there is always a chance that another person is better than you with 0.1%. So we had the selection round. Hopefully I got selected too. And the day arrives of our competition. We reach the spot at 8 and our competition starts at 1. For so long of 5 hours, what were we doing? Something very big to learn from this part? No, just learn to be patient. Now, this thing that be patient in all your situations of life, I also knew that day, but I didn't be patient. Why? Because in certain situations, we forget what we have to do. Now, what can we do in this situation is, always put up a marked up list of what all you are lacking behind. If I am not good at being calm, if I am not good at facing situations, then those 2-3 words would be in front of me every time, reminding that this is where I am lacking. Lesson number 4 learned. Now competition starts at 1 and the first round with 20-30 people, 2-3 batches gone, we were given the topic, we spoke, completed. Then comes the time when the name of the finalists were being announced. And of course, if you have done a bit of hard work also, you'll have a bit of expectation too to get rewarded. I too had it to be the finalist at least, but I didn't get selected as of then. The teacher took all the names of the students except mine, and I was like, did I speak so bad that I didn't even get selected in that round? Okay, didn't get selected. And then I thought, if I'm not getting selected, it's okay, but at least I can do one thing, that I would go there, I would listen to what others are speaking, and I would learn something out of it at least. Lesson number 5 learned, always find positive perspective in the gloomiest situations too. Now, other school, you should be disciplined. You should ask for permissions wherever you're going. Now, this is where I did the mistake. I just pushed the door and I went inside and sat in the place where the audience was sitting. And the teachers were like, how she could do that? She has not taken the permission of ours and she just went inside. I should have been disciplined. It's the main thing of a 9th grader girl, right? So when I entered, the teacher after me is coming, how did you enter? I was like, sorry sir, I would not repeat this again. In subconscious mind I have entered. He was like, okay then. The judge is saying me, why are you sitting there? The participants, the competitors are supposed to be sit in the middle of the room. And I was like, participants, ma'am, I'm not the finalist. I have just come here to watch, to learn something. She said, no, you are the finalist. I said, no ma'am, the teacher who was announcing the list of students didn't say me anything. He just announced and my name was not there. And she called up the teacher. Teacher also said the same thing. No ma'am, you haven't gave it in written that she is the finalist. And she told me that you spoke so well, you had really good points that I forgot to write that she is the finalist. And I was like, what? She forgot to write that I was a finalist? Okay. Now, if I hadn't done that mistake of entering that room, I would have never gone through that participation of final round also. 6th lesson learned is always when you're doubtful to something, reassure, reconfirm, maybe what you're thinking is right and maybe what you're facing is wrong. I entered, competition done, then time of results. Didn't hope even 0.1% to get any prize because the speakers were so good. I didn't have that much confidence in myself. But the first name announced was 3rd prize goes to this girl. And the speaker has announced 3 to 4 times and I'm not getting up. Why? Because I didn't believe in myself. Lesson number 7th learned, although you are doubtful to yourself, always believe in yourself. And the partner sitting beside me is pushing, "Ari, go, your name has been announced." I was like, okay, thank you. So this was my first story, which is the example of mistakes can yield you something very exceptional in life. Now the second category, which would worsen your life. Now this is not exactly my story, but of people around me, my neighbors. Newly married couple, expecting to have children, and yes, they did have children within 2 to 3 years of marriage. And that too twins. They were very happy. But the thing is, they were very conscious about their future, about what to do, when to do, how will they give them good education, good food, and a luxurious lifestyle. While they were focusing on all these things, they forgot 3 main things: love, care, and time. The children faced pneumonia, and the parents left it with the caretakers that the caretaker will take care of them. Now what happened? Both the children died. Now what to do? Time has passed. They have nothing to do now. They didn't get the love, care and time that they required. So this is the thing we face all around us. We take relationships for granted. It could be relation with your parent, with your teacher, with your friend, with your whatever relation it may be with your grandparents, we don't think that that is much important. Often people have a disbalance in their professional and personal lives, which is very important to maintain. Once the time is gone, the person is not going to come back. Maintain it. Third story is of my friend, Sophie. She was a girl who wanted to become a lawyer. Very, very high dreams. Her parents also didn't even say anything. She was going on. And one day it happened that she was so packed up in those assignments, everything related to advocacy and judiciary, that she felt like she's jammed up. She wanted to do something out of that assignments and all. So she decided to pursue her hobby, painting. Now another lesson here to learn is when you're bored with something, you pursue your hobby. But have you ever tried pursue something more than your hobby? Other than your hobby? No. That's where we make mistake. Hobbies are always good to pursue, but always try new things. So she had to take drawing books and pens in her bag. But in subconscious mind, she accidentally took the camera and put in a bag, and she went on to where she had to paint. Now when she is reaching that part, she thought, okay, I have bought this camera rather than the drawing books and pens. Now she can't go back and bring it, right? Her home is very far. So she decided, okay, whatever we have, let's do that. She opens up the camera, starts clicking the pictures of everything around she sees. Then comes back home and edits those pictures. And after editing, whatever result she gets, she can't even imagine herself that those photos have been edited by her. So good color combinations, so good backgrounds, everything was good. It's then where she realized that career options are not only what you think, it could be beyond that. So rather than only pursuing in the degree of judiciary, she combined it with paintings and photography. Now when I come across mistakes, people usually think that mistakes is a component of failure. Why? Why can't we think it as a catalyst of our growth, of our self-discovery? Why not? Why always thinking it's a component, you have done mistakes, means you're just a failure? Why? It could be something you have learned. It could be something you have experienced. Now when I said the story of the child and the parents, has anyone thought that what they could do after that? Of course they can't bring their children back, but having a positive perspective, what they could do or what they can do is they can go to an orphanage, they can give the children the love, care and time for at least the self-satisfaction they need. Another small story of social media. I find many people using social media and saying influencers, many influencers around. And when they see influencers, they start thinking rather than an entertainment, they start thinking comparing. They have big cars, we have small cars. They have so big of house and we have small houses. Why are you doing comparison? Your lifestyle is not the same as of them. Your life situations are not the same as them. Then why do you compare? You start lowering your own self-esteem in this comparison. And what ultimately leads to all this is your mental health. You think that you are nothing, although you have everything that could be possible. The thing that affects is your mental health. So please take care of these things which I have learned and I have shared with you. Coming to the conclusion, in life, there is not a stoppage where you can stop and think, right? Life is a continuous bicycle, you can say, where to maintain the balance, you should keep moving. You can't avoid mistakes in life. It is but natural, and if you're not making mistakes, then I don't think you are living a life. You can't avoid mistakes, but what you can do is to respond to it. Respond to it in a positive way. Respond to it having a positive perspective. First, learn to be stable in life. First, learn to have some perseverance, have some resilience in life. Think that mistakes, are the catalyst of growing and improving yourself. Do not think that it is a component to prove you as a junk. Thank you.